What's up, people? My name is Malcolm Carter, and I would like to share a story today because it's one of those stories that I really don't like to tell because I basically fucked up in the story. But it seems like I need to practice telling stories and making them like about 10 to 5 minutes short, or maybe 7 minutes. Not sure. But anyway, so last year I went to New York Comic Con with this girl that I was really digging. And I was just like, yeah, I really dig this girl. So I get to New York, and I remember I got hopped on the bus, and I felt like an idiot because I'm wearing this giant, I even forgot what shirt I was wearing. I think I was wearing a giant Nintendo shirt. But anyway, I'm on the bus, and you're just on the bus, and you're chilling. And I'm just listening to music, and every once in a while, I would see like a whole bunch of people just get on the bus, and the more people that got on the bus and cosplay and looked like they were going to Comic Con. I was just like, oh yeah, this is my kind of people. They just started hopping on the bus more and more, and when you're on the bus like that, you see the reaction of other people on the bus. Because other people are like, I'm going to work. Other people are like, so have you heard about Doctor Who? And it's really weird because people were just like in like suits and ties, and then you would see like somebody dressed as Fiona from Adventure Time, and you're like, oh, this is funny. And they're just thinking in their head, what the hell is going on in New York? So I'm on the bus getting more and more excited because I'm like, yes. Two favorite things are about to happen. One, I'm going to be around a whole bunch of geeks. Number two, I'm going to be around this beautiful girl that I'm really digging. Let me just tell you, it didn't go down like that. Let me just put that down. Don't put that in your head that it went good. It went terrible. I know it went terrible. So I get off the bus, and I'm just with a backpack. And I shit you not, every time I get off the bus in New York, I always feel like I'm a Pokemon trainer who just like hopped off the boat and he just entered a new region. And it never ceases to amaze me that I always think that every time I hop off the bus coming into the Port Authority. So I walk in and it's like dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. And then you take this escalator down, and you just feel it. You're just like, new adventure on my way. So I am just excited now. I'm just happy. I'm seeing cosplayers every once in a while, and I'm walking around. So the first thing I do, since I don't own a phone, which is very stupid of me, I need to get one of those, I text her and I say, hey, I'm here. I'm coming over to you. Now, I'm assuming that I'm going to do a good job. So I get to the subway, which I super hate. If you're a New Yorker and you love the subway, cool for you. Or people who visit love the subway, good for you. I hate the fucking subway. Because no matter what, there's always going to be somebody weird fucking with me at the subway. So or something bad happens at the subway that fucks up my whole plan. So I'm walking to the subway, and I'm like, I'm going to go to the subway. And I get to the subway, and the first thing I notice about the subway is I have to take, I think it was the E train, and I have to take that all the way to get to her house. So I get over there, and the E train is shut down. Like, I felt like stupid, because I didn't check it before I actually got there. But, like I said, I didn't have any Wi-Fi on this goddamn bus. So I'm like, shit. So I'm like trying to find out where to call her at, and I'm trying to find stupid Wi-Fi. So I'm walking around everywhere like, shit, I need to find this Wi-Fi ASAP. Rocky. So I'm walking around, and I see this guy, and I end up following these two guys. One guy was wearing like this Wampa hat. If you don't know what a Wampa is, it's from Star Wars. It's this real creature. Luke cut its arm off. That's the end of it. And this guy dressed up as Deadpool. He looked like a retarded Deadpool. I cannot lie. Even though Deadpool is Deadpool, he looked like a really retarded one. So I'm following these guys, and they're like, yeah, follow me. And I'm like, okay. And we're following. And so finally I get to this one spot, and I'm a guy who likes to follow the rules to the T. So it said, people with tickets this way. I had no ticket. She had my ticket. So I'm like, shit. I'm fucked. If I get there and I'm there, I'm fucked. So I'm fucked. And I'm like, shit, I gotta call her, find out where she is. So I'm calling her, I'm like, hey, where are you? And we're having conversations because we don't know where each other is. We don't know where each other, we don't know. Shit, why is this grammar so difficult? So we don't know where each other are. I don't even think that's proper grammar. I don't care. I'm black. I'm allowed to fuck up with grammar every once in a while. So I'm like, shit, I don't know where she is. She doesn't know where I am. We're having trouble already. So I waited there for about a good 30 minutes looking for her. She's kind of getting ready, and I keep getting text messages talking about, hey, I'm going to be here. Hey, I'm going to be there. Hey, I'm going to be here. Hey, I'm going to be there. So finally, she was like, I'm going to be at Penn Station. Now, if you want to know how dumb I am, this is exactly how dumb I am. I didn't know Penn Station was called Pennsylvania Station. I just assumed that it was a big old sign that said Penn Station. So I'm like walking around and I'm like, damn, where the fuck is Penn Station at? So I'm walking around, and usually they know when they see a dumb tourist guy. So they were like, this guy does not come to New York as often as I thought. So I'm like, walked up to this lady, and I was like, yeah, where's Penn Station? She's like, right by so-and-so, you'll be right there anytime, just you'll see it. So I walk past, and I see Pennsylvania Station, and I'm like, this is Pennsylvania Station, I'm looking for Penn Station. So finally I asked this homeless guy, I go, hey, where's Penn Station? He's like, you're right in front of it. And I'm like, no, this is Pennsylvania Station. You're lying to me, hobo. Give me my $1 back. So I got my $1 back. Not really. So finally I was like, wait a minute. There's two N's in Penn Station. This is Penn Station. So finally I realized that Penn Station and Pennsylvania Station are the same fucking thing. Don't judge me. You're not allowed to judge me. So, finally, I stand there, and we're looking for each other. And I'm like, where is she? I don't know where she is. So I'm walking around because I'm wasting time. So finally, she shows up right by Penn Station. She's just standing there. And she just looked amazing. And I looked like shit. And I felt like shit because she looked amazing. And I'm just like, oh man, this is not gonna be fun. So we hop on, we get in there, we get into the, Comic-Con, and we're just like, wow. I'm going wow because I'm like, yeah, this is my kind of place. For her, it was like, I need to find my friends. And that's where it begins. This is where my day started going from to I had hopes, and to, yeah, this is not going well at all, to, yeah, fuck it. This was the worst day ever. So the whole time we're just looking for her friends, and I'm standing there, and I look like a douchebag. Because, A, I just sweated out my shirt, and I had to change shirts. Luckily, I was prepared for this. I brought another shirt with me. So I had another shirt with me, and I had my backpack. And she had a sweat, she had a jacket, and I was like, oh, nice, put your jacket in my book bag. Fucked up mistake number one. I should have told her to hold her jacket. No, I'm stupid. So we're walking around, and she's looking for her friend the whole time, and I'm just trying to be with her the whole time. Again, stupid Malcolm. This is dumb Malcolm. This is really dumb Malcolm. He needs to stop. And I wasn't like an avid smoker of things. So I was just like, oh, this is dumb. Oh, this is stupid. So she kept looking for her friends. I'm trying to be like, I need to make my move here. This is the perfect place to make my move. Again, why am I so stupid? So we're walking around, and finally we meet her friend, and her friend just is tall. She's short, and I'm tall, and we meet, and it's kind of awkward because her friend is looking at me like ew, and I'm looking at her like hi, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do, and she's like, well, you should do this. So finally she's like, oh, well, I'm going to the Teen Wolf panel. I dislike Teen Wolf. I don't like the show. I've seen like maybe a season of the show, and I was like, I'm not hooked. So I'm like, damn it, this is gonna suck balls. So this is where I fucked up first and foremost. Number one, she's like, hey, we're gonna be waiting for this panel You sure you want to do this? And she's like, now the girl who I'm just really at the time just like, I really like you, is like, yeah, Malcolm, you know, you can leave. My mind state is always this: when you're with somebody, stay with them, because you can get lost. And I am the master of getting lost places. And I had her shit. So I was like, okay, I have her stuff, and I'm going with strangers, which was technically her stepbrother, her stepbrother and her father and her stepfather. So I was gonna be with them. And first of all, stepfather, cool guy. Brother, scared the living shit out of me. So I'm just like, this is gonna be really bad. I know it is. So I'm just like, this can't get any better. So I decided to stay with the women instead of going with the testosterone males. Because I know me, I am not a person who's like, we're gonna go this way, we're gonna go that way, and then we're gonna look at shit. And I'm just like, I don't care. But I had to be nice. So I was just staying with the women, and I was watching the Teen Wolf thing, and slowly my brain started saying to me, Malcolm, you should just leave. You should just leave. But I'm like, no, Malcolm, no, you know what you're doing. Now, I saw it in her face that she was way more into hanging with her friend than me, so I should have just said, fuck this. Let me go enjoy this, go find some good new people. Again, my mom drilling it in my head that to stay with the group is what was going in my head. So I'm like, okay, let me stay with these women who are doing makeup. Why are they doing makeup? Fuck my life. Why am I here? Why am I here? And that's when it dawned on me, I should have went with the males and then disappeared from the males, and I would have been good. I'd have been golden. I'd have just walked around, looked at shit, talked to people. I'd have had a good time. No, stupid me was being stupid. I like this girl too much, and I need to prove to her that I'm going to be loyal as fuck, and I'm staying here. So I'm just like, fuck, this is boring. We're watching the stupid Teen Wolf panel, and I'm just like, kill me now. Kill me now. So finally, they say the people who didn't get in get this ticket to go see and meet the people and get a signature. So now I'm like, okay, cool. Now we're going to get this signature done really quickly, and it's going to be over with. Again, why do I keep saying these things that never happen? I keep jinxing myself here in my brain. So I was like, yo, this is going to be really quick. It's going to be like, hey, click, click, gone. Totally wrong. I was completely wrong about this. Apparently in Comic-Con there are two things that'll be inevitable. Lines and more fucking lines. Everywhere you go, you turn left, line. You turn right, line. You turn upside down. Even on the roof there was fucking lines. That's how many lines there were. And some people would spend hours on these lines just to get 2 seconds or 2 minutes of something. And I'm just like, why am I in these lines? So I ended up standing in a line for about a good 2 hours while they were waiting for this Teen Wolf signing. And it was like the dumbest thing ever. I'm sitting there and I'm seeing how excited she is, but I'm seeing how dumb I'm looking because I'm still with her. Not because I'm with her, it's because I'm still with her. Like, literally, I'm standing there, looking like an idiot. I'm looking like a bitch boyfriend. That's exactly what I looked like that whole day. A bitch boyfriend who was just like, oh, I'm holding her purse. Oh, I'm holding her jacket. That's what I look like, bitch boyfriend. So I'm just like, shit, what's going on? So it took a while, and she thought I was leaving the line. I was literally leaving to, like, you know, shed a little bit of my man tears, because I'm like, shit, I am looking like a total idiot right now. But that wasn't really what I was thinking. That's what my logical brain was thinking. What I was thinking really was like, yo, she doesn't even give a fuck I'm here. I mean, I could, like, die right now. That was exactly what I was thinking. And I would see other women there, and I would go, hey, I should talk to them. But I said no, because I'm like, no, I can't do this. So, I can't do this. She's here, and even though my brain is saying she don't give a fuck, I'm like, I'm still here with her, and I have to be faithful to that thought. So, finally, it took like a good 2 hours of us on this line just going, click, just to get a click, click, gone. And so, finally, She leaves, and we're walking the floor. We're walking the floor, and we're having a good time, and I'm having a good time, and I'm slowly getting back up to that, hey, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be a good, have some fun kind of stuff. Again, now this is where the story just goes bad, because I blacked out. I don't remember doing this, but apparently I was doing this. What I was doing was, I was trying to force myself to, like, her to care, but I was being really, really aggressive about it. Like, she would be like, don't hold my hand, and I'd be like, bitch, you're gonna hold my hand, and she's like, no, don't hold my hand, fat piece of shit, and I'm like, you bitch, you're gonna hold my hand. I'm looking like an abusive boyfriend now. I went from looking like a bitch boyfriend to an abusive boyfriend in about 2.5 seconds, and I'm just, like, trying to hold her hand, and her friend is talking, and she's talking to her friend, and I guess her friend was doing stuff, and her brother's there, well, her stepbrother's there, and I'm looking like a fool now. I'm looking like a legit black fool following two women, and I started, talking to the brother, and I would stand there and talk to the brother like he was nothing, and the brother had this weird speaking pattern, because it wasn't like a normal person speaking pattern. I'd be like, hey, yo, you like that? And he'd be like, yeah, I like that. I think it's really cool, but I don't know. I like it, though. It's cool. You ever did a knife? I killed deer. I like hunting. Like, whoa, dude, calm down. I'm not a hunter. That's cool. And then sooner or later, I just started talking like him. So it was like, hey, man, you like Lord of the Rings? I'm like, yeah, I like Lord of the Rings. It's pretty cool. He's like, really? Who's your favorite character? I'm like, motherfucking Gandalf. And he's like, really? You can say motherfucker? I was like, yeah, but I say motherfucker because, I'm black. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah. So that's how basically half of our conversations changed. And so we're walking and we're following the girls, and finally we split up from the girls, and I snapped back into reality where I'm like, yo, where am I? How did I get here? And he's like, yo, man, you like Lord of the Rings? And I'm like, dude, you talk weird. And so I'm freaking out. I'm panicking. And I'm like, maybe I should just, find out what's going wrong, everything. So finally we leave Comic-Con. And we say goodbye to her I say goodbye to her brother, who was like kind of like the guy who was kind of just standing there with me the whole time while these girls did whatever they wanted. I did talk to some people. Like, I got into this podcast guy. I met him. Got a comic book. It was really cool. And I got it signed by the guy. So I'm like, oh, that's really cool. So I'm flipping shit. And so we leave. And then she's finally like, okay, now it's just me and her. And I'm like, okay, now it's time for Malcolm to make his move. Then she starts talking about two other friends. And that's when my brain goes, yeah, today went terrible. It went nothing like my day wanted to. And I'm just thinking, I fucked up. I honestly fucked up. Now, I could break it down where I fucked up at, but I really did know. I really know where I fucked up at. Number one, I was clingy as fuck the whole day. But I explained that to her, and I told her, hey, look, my mom said don't leave the group. But I forgot I was 19, and I can do whatever the fuck I want to, and if I get killed, this is my fucking fault. Who the fuck cares? Number two, I was really aggressive when it came down to that holding hands thing. And number three, I left. Now, when I left, I felt really depressed because, one, she was with her friends. Two, she didn't give me any type of hug, goodbye, or nothing. And three, it was just, no, it was just, she was upset with me, I was kind of depressed about her, and I left. So from that day forward, I blamed myself for fucking up my own progress. It's the worst thing I've ever done in my life, but I can't say I was like the shittiest person ever. I was just a guy who's like, I like this girl too much, and I broke it down too hard. So I walked away with everything. Walked away from it, and I was just like, yeah, this is pretty good. I guess I had a good day and everything. So I finally get in my book bag, and I'm taking out all the shit I put in my book bag, and I realize that there's shit in my book bag. But before I get to the book bag part, I will get to my favorite part of this trip, was when I was coming back home. So it's about, I'm getting on the bus really early, and I had to go to this other port, and I missed I thought I could buy a ticket somewhere, and I couldn't buy a ticket there, so I had to go buy the ticket. So I ended up in the back of this line, and this guy and his girlfriend show up. Now, this guy is wearing like this brown Iron Man shirt, and I'm wearing this giant Kirby shirt, and he just notices me that I came from Comic-Con. And we start talking, and I start telling jokes like I always do when I meet new people, and they're enjoying this. They're like, haha, it's funny. And I go, yeah, and I was here with this girl, and it just didn't go like I wanted it to. And he said, oh, don't worry about it, man. You know what, man? Things get better no matter what. And I was like, you are a liar because your girlfriend is standing right next to you. You've already got it good. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. But then he said this thing to me. He was like, look, I used to think she wasn't the one for me. And I said, ooh, let me listen to this, because this is the depressing part. So he's like, yeah, so one day we were on a date, and we're sitting at this table, and she starts talking about X-Men, how she loves the X-Men movies. And I love X-Men. And from that day on, I said, she has to be the one, because she likes the same comic book as me. And he said that if she likes the same things that you like, then that means it's gonna work. Because no matter what, you always have that same basis that you will always have. You can have some shit totally like opposite, but if you have that one thing that attracts you to, you'll always be drawn back to that one thing. And then you'll start understanding, maybe he likes this, and maybe you'll start, liking each other's shit. So, I get back home, and I empty out my book bag, and I realize that her jacket is in my book bag. And so, from that day on, her jacket has been at my house for the longest time. And that is my shitty Comic-Con story that people would not care about seeing, but they're going to see it anyway. What's the moral of the story? One, don't be clingy. It's not cool, especially with a girl like her. She was, I would say, perfect for me, but I fucked it up. So, yeah. Number two, don't black out at Comic-Con. Shit happens that you will forget at Comic-Con when you black out at Comic-Con. Number three, don't waste your time on lines unless it's really worth it, like Kevin Smith. Kevin Smith is worth it. Or you're going to get a sneak preview of something. Or Stan Lee. He's got a limited amount of years left. So just remember, he's fucking Stan Lee. So, if anything, thank you for watching this video. It's 20 minutes long of me talking about this one time of my life that I do remember vividly. And I will always remember it because it was my favorite. It's one of my favorite days that I could remember. Because I fucked up. Even though it was a fucked up day, I still remember it because it was a day that I have to say that I got to I did what I wanted to do. I got to spend the day with a beautiful young woman who I was really digging at the time, and I got to do that. So, if anything, peace. I love you all. Thank you for listening to my 20-minute story that's about to go 23 minutes. Thank you so much. Love you guys. Peace.